Well, a House Democrat is calling for former President Barack Obama to be sent as chief negotiator to free the hostages held by Hamas. And joining us now is that congressman who's suggesting this, Representative Shri Thanedar, also a member of the Committee on Homeland Security. Congressman, thanks for being here.
Thank you.
Tell us why you feel that former President Obama is the one who can help negotiate the release of these hostages.
Well, we should have three different goals. One is to finish Hamas forever so that such atrocities would never happen again. We need to get help for the Palestinian people, the innocent civilians caught in between this Hamas and Israel war. They need to be protected. And we need diplomatic channels open to bring those hostages home. So to accomplish all of these goals, we need some humanitarian pauses and a good work on diplomatic negotiations.
Yeah, I hear you. Why former President Obama, though?
Well, he is the world leader, someone who has been respected, and certainly would be a high-profile appointment if President Biden could appoint him to release the hostages and negotiate their release.
You feel that Israel should institute a 72-hour humanitarian pause to negotiate the release of hostages. The New York Times reported that Hamas actually proposed exchanging 50 Israeli hostages for a 5-day ceasefire, that was rejected. Now, Netanyahu denies this, but would you have been in favor of this?
Absolutely not. There should be no ceasefire, but there should be a humanitarian pause so that food and medicine and necessary supplies can get into Gaza.
Well, and let me ask you, don't want to interrupt, but what is the difference? What is the difference between a humanitarian pause and a ceasefire?
Well, a ceasefire would be ending the war for that period of time. A humanitarian pause would be something where people would be, the Israeli army would be ready to react if there are issues that happen. And more importantly, the humanitarian pause would allow the Palestinians trapped in the Gaza to move southwards. It will also allow the essential supplies to be brought into Gaza, and it will allow for negotiations.
In any kind of pause, even if it is 72 hours, what are the concerns that Hamas will use that to rearm, to reassemble their fighters, and possibly even move hostages deeper into Gaza?
That is certainly a possibility that we need to watch very carefully. None of the supplies, the fuel, should be helping Hamas. Hamas should be destroyed for good. Israel must destroy their military operations. The unfortunate part here is that Hamas has used innocent Palestinians as human shields. And that has, they have their command centers right in hospitals, at the basement of hospitals. They have their Hamas leaders traveling in ambulances. All of this has caused this undesirable loss of human life, innocent human life, and that needs to be minimized or stopped. And we can only do that through movement of these innocent Palestinians all the way to the south, making sure that the human loss is minimized. At the same time, we eliminate Hamas completely, because we should have zero tolerance for the barbaric terrorism acts of Hamas that we observed on October 7th.
Yeah, certainly. And quickly, Congressman, while we have you, I do want to turn to your state, Michigan. Jewish community leader Samantha Wohl was murdered last week. They are still looking for a killer. Do you have any details that you can share on that investigation?
The police have arrested the suspect. The Detroit police tell me that that killing was not related to anti-Semitism. And I take their word for it right now, but I'm awaiting a full investigation. Samantha Wohl was a friend of mine. I had met her many times. What a beautiful person she was. And it was heartbreaking to see such a brutal attack on her and her death.
All right. Representative Shri Thanedar, appreciate your time tonight. Thank you. Thank you for watching. Go to newsnationnow.com to find News Nation on your television provider. And don't forget to click the red subscribe button below to get more of News Nation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.